any second guessing here about not having Clark on the Olympic team?
From me? No.
Remember when Cheryl Reeve said she didn't care about Caitlin Clark? Turns out they're both big draws now, and the Lynx are capitalizing on it.
The coach of the home team, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for that other side.
I'll get 2 shits.
How about 1?
Not even 1 shit.
Reeve quickly changed her tune once she saw Clark's value. From Olympic snub to fan, her shift is full of irony, but the ticket scheme has fans furious. Let's dive in.
So, we know the Caitlin Clark effect is real, obviously. It is incredibly obvious that it's real. But this might just sum it up more than anything else. But the reality is, Caitlin Clark is a bigger draw than the WNBA Finals, and it's proven by this.
Remember when Cheryl Reeve didn't care about Caitlin Clark? Back then, Reeve stayed quiet when Clark was left off the Team USA roster and shrugged off her impact on fan attendance.
Hey, dummies. For the first time, in the history of basketball, you have arguably a player who is the most popular player in the world. You could argue right now, Caitlin Clark is the most talked about, discussed, most popular, most puts asses in the seats, single basketball player in the world. You could argue that. Yeah, you can say maybe LeBron, Luka, whatever you want, but you can argue it. And you leave her off the Olympics team, it's not only a showcase for her, it's for the sport and the other WNBA players who are on this team. How dumb, how brain dead, how idiotic do the people running this thing have to be?
The fever hits, and the Target Center fills up. Suddenly, everyone wants to see Caitlin Clark, and Reeve's tune begins to change.
I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather watch dirt just be moved around. Because Caitlin Clark's not on the team. If she's there, it's appointment TV. You people, whoever did this, honestly, hey, take your brain, put it in a museum, and study it for how dumb you are.
Reeve soon praised Clark, seeing the sold-out arenas, high TV ratings, and booming jersey sales. Clark is a game-changer, record attendance, 2.4 million viewers for the draft, and the Fever's attendance soaring from 4,000 to 177,000. It's a revolution.
Caitlin Clark is PR. That's where... How can they leave her? Once again, everybody's, out to get her. They don't want to grow the game.
Clark isn't just living up to the hype. She's breaking records with 62 set in her rookie season. Every game is a highlight reel. So what does Reeve do? She jumps on the Caitlin Clark bandwagon. Clark is now the star women's basketball needed. But wait, there's a ticket controversy brewing. You won't believe what happens next.
If you guys don't know, teams have season tickets. In general, teams have season tickets. Sometimes teams have half-season tickets. Sometimes have all these other packages. But one team, the Minnesota Lynx, have decided, you know what? We've got our season tickets. But, we're cool with charging you guys $30 per game for all of these. But when Caitlin Clark comes to town, we're going to be adding 10 times the price, probably. You're probably looking at $300 tickets when Caitlin Clark comes to town.
Reeve's praising Clark, but the real question is, how much is a Clark game worth? The Lynx say it's priceless, with a new ticket package raising eyebrows and draining wallets fast.
So, if you guys didn't see, there is a package for away games, for home games for the Minnesota Lynx. So you can see here, these are half-season packages. So you can purchase packages to see every other game. You can get half-season packages for all of these games here, all of these games here. Option to add Fever games. Purchase a half-season package to receive access to add on the Fever game.
The Lynx are offering a half-season ticket package for $850, but it excludes games against the Indiana Fever. To see Clark and the Fever, you have to buy the full package. No single game tickets available.
You cannot buy a ticket to the Fever game without buying a half-season package. That is how confident they are in this. You cannot buy a ticket straight up for the Fever unless you are at all the other games. So you can't just buy a ticket to the Fever. Any other game, cool. The other games are all in the packages. And they're probably charging as much as the entire package to just watch the Fever game. Which is absolutely crazy.
Fans are furious, with one saying, "They lost me with this decision." Another called it the most shameless money grab in any league's history. The message is clear. Clark is the face now.
We knew the Caitlin Clark effect was real, but it's there are people still oblivious to it. Still people absolutely oblivious to it. But you've now got like purchase a half-season ticket to receive access to add-on to Fever games. The Go has her own package. She literally has her own package. They could even sell out Gamebridge for day one of Fever Camp. They 100% could. I'm sorry, they could sell out Gamebridge for day one of Fever's training camp. There's a 0% chance they couldn't.
While the Lynx hold back, teams like the Storm and Liberty are including Fever games in their packages. It's like a restaurant raising prices after a good review. Sure, they make quick money, but how long before fans start looking elsewhere?
If Unrivaled, if somebody got injured for Unrivaled, and it was while they're waiting for someone, they were like, we've got Caitlin Clark for one day and one day only, but instead we're going to move it into wherever, is it in Orlando or Miami? It's in Miami, where the Miami Heat play in the American Airlines Arena is Miami, or is it the American Airlines Center? Is that the Mavs? American Airlines Arena, I think, is Miami, or whatever it's called now. So you could move it to there, Unrivaled, and it would sell out in 10 minutes if she was there for one night and one night only. That's the reality of the situation.
The Lynx's move is anything but subtle. They're cashing in on the Caitlin Clark hype. Funny how quickly Reeve's tune changed with a few sold-out arenas. Do they really think fans will accept this? Without them, it's just an empty gym.
Like, I've never seen a team do something like this before. Maybe there is. Maybe there has been, but I've never heard of season tickets that discount certain games just because they're the bigger games. And also the fact that you have to pay, you have to buy a season ticket. Like, I've seen times where in order to get access to certain games, you have to basically, it's first come first serve with season tickets and stuff. Like, as a Leeds United fan, to see the playoff final, it was like season tickets got first preference. Then you had to have gone to 10 games during the year.
For $850, you could watch Fever games from home, or even fly to Indiana for one. But the Lynx are acting like Clark is locked away, and that price is the key. Imagine being a Lynx player, your team's telling you, you're not Caitlin Clark.
My favorite part about this is it is the home of I don't give two shits about Caitlin Clark, Cheryl Reeve.
This ticket controversy is just the beginning of Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA. So how did we get here? And what did Reeve really think about Clark? We'll dive into that shortly, but first, let's take a look at some numbers.
The amount of people that still call AJ Wilson the face of the league. I'm sorry, you don't need to purchase a 10-game package for the option to watch AJ Wilson play basketball. You don't. And AJ Wilson is in, obviously it's everyone in the packages to see every other team other than the Fever.
And when you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Caitlin Clark. That is a problem.
Over 31% of the Mystics' entire attendance was in 2 games the Caitlin team played against the Mystics. The Sparks, the Aces, the Mystics, the Dream, all moved games when Fever came in town because of the attention that Caitlin and her teammates have drawn that last season. Fever's jersey sales was up 1,000% and attendance was up 250%. And they had the largest attendance on average per year, just over 17,000 per game.
Such an incredible moment on a global scale for our game, for our players.
It's like the fans are absolutely incredible. It's the same when we go on the road. Like there's so many people that are showing up in Fever gear. It's really affecting, teams all across our league, which is a really great thing. And, really, I think we're just scratching the surface.
Hall of Famer and, has had a great impact on the game already.
What are some things that you're seeing from Caitlin Clark that stands out to you?
It makes her special. I know everyone will talk about the logo threes and, Steph Curry did that for the NBA, right? Think about his popularity because his ability, this little guy, slight of build, running around splashing threes everywhere, right? It's exciting. But just sort of, understanding the physicality of the pro game, and likely the FIBA game, when she gets in that space, she will be very targeted towards, I believe, growing her physical strength and her ability to exist in spaces against, bigger, stronger athletes than what she faced in college. So obviously, future Hall of Famer, and has had a great impact on the game already.